Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining me. I'm so grateful that this gets recorded so when people have a chance, they can listen later on. I can listen to myself as well, help myself clear stuff. I wanted to talk about like throughout my life, I've always tried to please other people. And, but now I follow my light, and sometimes my light leads me in different directions. And I'm not apologizing for that. It's just, I'm so thankful and grateful that I chose to follow my light. And sometimes what happens is people leave, leave you, and then down the road when things seem to come together again, people show up again in your life. And one of the things I wanted to talk about is that not to feel like a form. This is what I've worked on most of my life is rejection of self, because I've been taught through time that because of the way I look, the way I'm shaped, and everything like that, that I'm not worthy of wonderful, amazing things in my life. So this is one of the things I wanted to make myself understand, and to help you release and let go of it as well, is that we don't all that programming. Let's remove and release all that programming that is so embedded in us. And I have been trying to clear this for decades, man. It's getting better and better, but it's like, well, it's like I realize and I witness it now, and it's like and one of the hardest ones to clear was family, because you're a certain role in a family and stuff like that, and it's like, so let's remove and release all the places that we are still trapped into that role, that containment, that expectation, and those judgments. Because you don't realize until you start clearing yourself how many limiting points of view your family around you has, because it's fine for them, because that's the choice that they made. But I don't want that. Like, I don't want to be like, I don't want to apologize for my light. I don't want to apologize for the choices I make. And sometimes what happens is it brings you into people's awareness, and you reconnect or you disconnect. It's not that there is any thing that specifically happened. It's just I follow my light. And if that offends you, I'm really sorry about that. I'm not sorry. Sorry, not sorry. You know that saying? Because it's like, if there's energies that shift and change in people, sometimes I definitely do not want to be around them, because sometimes what happens is when they shift and change, sometimes their points of views like really overshadow. And my biggest challenge throughout my life is that, and I don't know if some of you could relate to this or not, but has been that I have people come into my life, and sometimes what happens is their points of view are like, their points of views have tried to overshadow some other aspects of me. And it's like, so therefore it's like I just let go of it, and I just keep moving. Like, there's this wonderful soul, Charlene, talking about you, and she has said to me quite a few times, and I finally got it. So thank you, you wonderful, amazing soul, Charlene McDonald. She owns Bliss Cafe in Dales and Amherst, and it's like, just keep moving forward. There's another lady as well who has said this to me as well over and over again, and I want to thank her as well. And it's like, just keep moving forward, and it's like, no matter what happens around you, just keep moving forward. So no matter what feelings and emotions and uncertainty that are brought up in you because of family, because of relationships that you struggle with, sometimes those relationships you don't have a choice with. But it's like, if you really look at it, you like when you try to, this is the other thing that I tend to do is that I'm a healer, I'm a channeler, and I'm a medium. And there's still parts of me that are trying to heal people that don't want to be healed. And it's like I get angry with myself, but I don't want to do that anymore. So let's remove and release those. It's like I get disappointed in myself because it's like, why do you want to keep doing that? Why? It's like, and I realize it's a trap so that I stay stuck and I stay in a place that I can't move forward because there's still parts of me that thinks that I need to do that. So let's remove and release all those aspects of ourselves that are still active, that keep us stuck and keep us in a place of shame, accountability, and that take away our power. Yes. Good morning, Rose. Thank you for joining. It's awesome. Yes. So, and it's the other thing is too as well that like there's so much out there. There's so much out there that we can learn and we can experience. I mean, social media, one of the aspects, positive aspects is there's so much information that's flooded onto YouTube, Instagram, TikTok that, you know, we can follow and identify with these souls. And it's like, identify those parts of ourselves that have been hidden and locked down because of the expectations and the requirements. We've been so trained throughout society, throughout existence to be this person, to be this role for that person, that there's no room for change. No, that's a complete lie. There's room for change. It's just that you are the one that usually changes. And if you're blessed, the other person will change too, but that sometimes doesn't happen. So remove and release all aspects of yourself. And because you change and you see the light and it makes it softer, it's like, this was one of the things that I used to do, is that I used to feel that, like, you know, why wouldn't you choose Reiki? Why wouldn't you choose energy work? Why wouldn't you? Right? But maybe it's not their choice. Maybe that's not what they came here to do. It has nothing to do with that. But that was the perspective I came from, is like, there's like, if somebody talks about an issue or a problem, it's like, there's all this other stuff that you could do, but people choose not to do it. So, but it's not a reflection of you. This is what I'm trying to clear, is that it's not a reflection of you. And it's like, it doesn't mean your light isn't shining 100,000 million amplified energies. And it doesn't mean that what you're doing is not enough. It just means that they have chosen other paths that are different from yours, and sometimes people identify themselves with what they're stuck in, and they don't understand that they can change it, or maybe they're fearful of the change. It's like there's a fine line there. And it's like, by you holding your light and you following your light and you follow your path, that is an example to go by. Like, there's so many amazing, wonderful people out there that in different ways, like I can't think of his name right off, but there's this gentleman that he swims in the coldest water he can find because he's all about cold showers and stuff like that. And it's like, that's such a unique, amazing aspect, but it's like the adventures he's been on. So remove and release where we have unintentionally boxed ourselves into an existence that is not in our highest and best good. Yes. That feels a lot better. And there's also these like, if we choose, we've been taught through time, through experience. Like, I'm quite a bit older, and when we were in the 80s, remember the psychic fairs that used to go through from town to town? I mean, I was very thankful and grateful that they showed up, because I had these gifts back then. I just hid them and denied them and like tried to camouflage them. which, and it's like, so when they started showing up, and they were like, at first people in some areas, they were really shocked by them, that it was it was wonderful because they were opening the opportunity, they were opening the door to a different possibility, a different experience. It's like with some of the things that are going on with society, without getting political, it's like they're opening doors, like allowing a different possibility in. And it's wonderful because it's like you don't realize through TV, through school, through all these aspects, how programmed you have become, and how much that box fights against you from expanding out of it. And it's like, it sounds, like the Matrix is. It's like some movies that are out there are pretty damn close to what reality is. If you take, for example, Don't Look Up, like I watched that movie and I was upset for quite a few days to realize that I was starting to lose hope that humanity cannot change. And it's like, then I realized that it's not up to me to change humanity. It's just up to me to allow my light to shine, to give myself permission to be myself. So remove and release everything that you set in your path consciously and unconsciously, or you've accepted from other people, that has not allowed your light to shine, that has acted as a barrier, a blockage, or a roadblock, so you don't expand beyond your possibility. You don't expand beyond and expand and accept the power you are. Yes. Yeah. So it's like, it's so, oh, good morning. Hello, beautiful soul. Yes. And it's like, I'm so thankful Rose shows up. Like, it's just amazing. Thank you very much, Rose. It's great. And it's like, so it's very wonderful that, oh yes. So like expanding beyond yourself, and you know what? It's really interesting because those souls will find you, and it's really amazing. And it's like, I have an example, like when I had left university and gone back to Toronto, and was there by myself, and I felt really alone and detached. And this older man, he was Italian, and he, in this subway in Toronto, it's like crazy. He just comes up to me, and he said to me that he had seen me a few times. His accent was really strong, but he had seen me a few times, and that he just wanted to let me know what a beautiful soul I was. That just changed my life, because I was in a really dark place at that time, because I was trying to deal with who I was. I realized my gifts and stuff like that. And it's like this angel just appeared out of nowhere. It's like there's miracles around us every day, but because we've sort of, like, it's almost like we don't even know we put a blinder on. We don't see it. We don't recognize it. And it's like that helped me so much. And it's really interesting because I hit a point in my life, especially with all this controversy over COVIDs and vaccines and stuff. And it's like I was going into a store around here, and this older lady came up to me. I was feeling really down, and she come up to me and said, I've seen you around town many times, and I just love the way you smile all the time. And I just wanted you to know how much I appreciate that. And it's like I thanked her gratefully. It's like, it's so nice to know that the universe has found ways to bring these angels to us. And it's like, just out of the blue, just unexpected. To me, that is worth its weight in gold, and made me realize, yes, because when you're on your path and you expand and you accept yourself, sometimes what happens is you end up in a different place for yourself, like you end up in a different energy field, and sometimes you feel like you're alone, but you know what, they're out there, they're just waiting for you to connect to them. And it's like there's so many of us that have gifts and abilities that we're not even consciously aware of in this lifetime. and and when we get to these places, we're really not alone. This is a lie that we've been told all along, is that they're there waiting for us. It's just sometimes it just takes one to go first, and then the spark is created and the space appears, and then all these other people will show up in that space, and you're never alone. And it could be a version of yourself, it could be your higher self. There's many aspects to us. So let's remove and release that lie that when you expand into the unknown or the unexpected or the about civilization, about like into a new version of yourself, or to expanded version and accepting yourself, that you're always alone. Yes. I just felt like all these shackles fell off of all these people. You know, it's like all this beauty and wonder of nature and of the world. Like like someone was saying that they seen the Northern Lights in Florida. And so it's like how this is how much we are expanding. Our consciousness is expanding, our awareness of gifts and our abilities. And it's like how amazing is that beauty and that wonderfulness has been seen by someone else in a place that normally doesn't see it. And I mean, I felt very blessed and stuff to see what we were seeing. But remove and release. If that expansion can happen in nature, and we are all connected in one form or shape, and if that expansion can happen in nature, then what about all the places that our expansion has been limited, has been shortened, or it has been influenced by beliefs and patterns of other people that we didn't even realize that we have allowed to influence it? Because the one thing that, like, sometimes the one thing that they, from my awareness and my witnessing, is that, yeah, you have to always belong. But the thing is, at what cost? So remove and release that no matter what, you have to belong. Because it's like there's places of, like, we should have places of safety that we can go, like a platform that, you know, all these wonderful, amazing souls can be together, but there's no cost to them. So remove and release all the places that you belong that have been a cost to you. What I mean by that is that you've given up a piece of your soul, a piece of your awareness, a piece of yourself, so that you can be part of that group. Remove and release that, yes. Excuse me, just for one sec. Excuse me, sorry. Okay. Whew, there we go. Okay, sorry about that. So, yes. So remove and release. There's another part of it's like, so what if you're someone that has this ability to expand and see all versions of yourself. And because you were always taught, like, some of the teachings is there's a higher self, and it's like maybe there's more than just a higher self. Maybe there's different versions of the higher self. And maybe because we have allowed, we've been taught that, like, there's over 200 chakras on the body, but there's been a main focus on only certain ones. And it's like, and it's maybe somebody has in his attunement with different chakras, but because they have not been addressed or looked at, because the person who deals with these chakras or these gifts and can work on them might not have shown up yet because of their limitations and their expansion. So let's remove and release all aspects of limitations that do not allow the souls that are meant for us and that can help us, or the energies of them exist, but the souls are not awaking yet to receive it, but we can receive it on a level we're not even aware of. So just imagine receiving it on a frequency and a vibration, because once you tune into yourself and then you expand, you can heal on different levels. It's not physical, it's not spiritual, not emotional. You can heal on a harmonic level, you can heal on a frequency, and you can heal on a vibration. And it's like, and beyond that, like, I'm just using these as an example. So because sometimes I look at, like, I work on stuff all the time, and I'm grateful I do, because I realize that I get more gifts and more awareness and more, like, I'm so thankful and grateful, like, that these come with it. And but it's this expansion, this possibility that you don't even physically have to be in alignment with that person. It can be done on a spiritual level. And it's like, and one of the greatest people that I know that works with this in that aspect is Allison May. Anyway, so it's like, and there's others as well, but like, she can work with you on a level that you were not even aware of that existed. And it's like, your soul has energy. Every aspect of you has energy. And maybe it's a soul healing that you need. It might not be a physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual healing. Or maybe it's a version of yourself from another lifetime. Maybe it's just a version of yourself from another reality. Like, there's so much expansion. There's so many levels to you that it's like we have always, like, we don't even realize that we have shut down the possibility that we could heal on different levels. Like, maybe your frequency has to go up and meet another person's frequency and receive a healing and maybe emanate out to the world. Like, there's so much out there. So remove and release the limitations that we unconsciously have placed on ourselves because we didn't realize that we could heal on different levels. So our energy could expand beyond. And yes, sorry, I'm going on. Like, your energy, your source of energy. Some of you come, like, your astrology chart. Some of you come from Saturn, energy of Saturn. You've had lifetimes on Saturn. You've had lifetimes on the sun, the moon. Like, some of you are really guided by the moon. So maybe that's where the healing needs to occur. Could be a different dimension of yourself. Like, there's so many levels of, like, that it can occur on. It's like, I have seen, like, platforms of different species, different energies, and it's like, and it's, you just needed to show up, and then you integrate that energy around you. And the other thing about that is, when you travel into areas or you expand into areas that are unknown, the universe always has your back. You can ask that you have your guides and guardians go with you. but they're always there with you. They're not going to take you to a place that's not in your highest and best good. And it's like at first the energy might be a little dense and a little hard. It's because this is the first time that you've experienced it. And, thank you very much, Lorianne. It's great that you're on here. Hello, hello. And so it's like you just have to realize that that's because there's still some fear in you that is like you're thinking that not so much the logical brain, the trained brain, like you've been trained to think this way, that, this is an area maybe you shouldn't go. And it's like, yeah, but who's decided that? This is a version of yourself. And there's so many versions of you that just let it flow and see what happens. And I mean, if there's something that comes up, like I don't get that there's going to be anything harmful to you. It's just that whether you're willing to, it's like sometimes what happens, I always ask when you enter into new territory, I do my best to ask for it as peacefully and softly as possible, that it integrate into me. So as peacefully and gently as possible. Because it's like sometimes when you expand it, it's like, do I really see that? Like I can see frequencies, I can see vibrations. I always when I first started, and my abilities to see, to hear, to feel, I'm thankful and grateful. And sometimes I don't see it, I just feel it. But it's like, because I channel it, and it's like I just allow myself to expand and open up to just the most amazing, wonderful possibilities out there. So with this, it's like, wouldn't it be wonderful if there was there's like people out there that can like heal. I do a lot of healing work sometimes, and you don't realize it. Like when I do my personal private sessions, that I am healing you on frequencies and vibrations and versions of yourself and past lifetimes. And it's like, it's sometimes what someone had said to me that it just blew her away what was done. But sometimes what happens is some people get focused on, they just want to talk to their dead ones and people who have passed on and stuff like that. And so they shut their expansion, their energy down. And it's like, and then I just work with what is available to me. And someone had said to me one time, well, maybe people just don't want to hear that. And it's like, I don't choose that. I don't say to your field, just show me this. What I ask for is that whatever needs to be cleared, whatever needs to be addressed, it's in the highest and the highest best for you, the highest and best version for yourself. That's what I work on. And it's like, so there was a while there, I sort of like my psychic medium business, I sort of like dampened it down. And it's like, but that's a version of myself. And it's like, this is what I had to work on, is that I realized that I'm like, you just want to know about someone who passed and how they're doing, but they want to work on you and help you clear so you live the best, amazing life that you can, because they realize on the other side that they can do this for you and they want to do it, but you don't want it. And it's like, I had a really hard time with that, because it's why wouldn't you, like, they're trying to heal you, but that's not what you want to hear. You just want to know how they're doing. And it's like, I've worked on that, and I realized that there's just, see, that was my point of view, is like, why wouldn't you want them to help you heal you? Why wouldn't you want a better life for yourself? But that's their limitations and that's their choice. So you have to come to and that's why there's so many different psychic mediums and so many different channelers, astrology people and stuff like that. It's their versions of their, like who they are. They're working towards their strengths and their abilities and their gifts. And it's like if you listen on TikTok and stuff like that, like there's quite a few astrologers. One of the amazing ones is Sammy. And it's like, and it's like you have this like, and there's another lady on TikTok, I can't remember her name, and she talks about certain things, and it's like, yeah, like everybody's a little different. Like we're not just because you're psychic meaning you can only see dead people. Like that's BS. It's beyond that. But maybe somebody's decided that's what they want to do with their gift, and that's their choice, right? And it's like, so, and unfortunately I get really because I get really bored. It's not a challenge to me. So if you say to me, like, and it's nothing against anyone, it's just that this is who I am, right? My excuse me, my goal has always been to help people in the most amazing way and most effective way. But I realized I had a few judgments and points of views that I had to clear out of my field. And it's like whatever is asked, what the person asked for is I try to give them the best to my capabilities. And just it maybe too, this is another version that I looked at as well, is that I mean that because I'm looking at them and doing this, that maybe it opens them up to the possibility of expanding into their gifts and their abilities. And maybe because they feel that they're like, because they know that other person is good, it releases something in them to allow them to expand and heal themselves. Like you just never know why they choose that for themselves. And it's not my job to figure that out. And it's just what they come for. I had to specifically ask, like, why are you coming to see me? Because I don't want to go into a version that like clear stuff that they don't want cleared, right? Because that's not fair to them and it's not what they want. So, and it's like you never know what that's done for them, how it's healed them, and how it has allowed them to expand into their own power, maybe, or expand in a way that they're capable of expanding. Because we all, sometimes we can jump like 20 feet ahead, and then it takes us a little while to go to the next level. And maybe some people just take their time, because you don't know how many burdens and limitations and judgments is holding them back. So remove and release any versions of themselves that doesn't allow themselves to, that any versions of ourselves that we do not allow ourselves to trust ourselves. That when we witness and experience this, we don't have we don't trust it, because it's something completely different. And I love to read and do and take courses and expand beyond that. But sometimes what happens is some of us, when something new happens and occurs in our field, we don't quite trust it. So remove and release all those chains, all those bonds, all those and all the promises that don't allow you to trust yourself, and don't go, okay, let's see where this goes. There's those hidden rooms, I forget what they were called, where they drop, like they were popular at one time, where you go and then it takes you about an hour and a half to find the door or get out of the room. And it's like, yeah, just sit in your energy and your power and say, what the universe show me what else is possible. That's from Access Bar. And or say, show me, just allow your energy to expand. Like, show me how the highest and best version of myself, or just sit there and allow the energy to expand into the possibilities. So remove and release. Sometimes what happens, and I'm like this too, is that when you expand into a version of yourself that you have not been with for lifetimes, centuries, or in this physical body existence, you think, because you don't know the answer right away, that you can't allow it to happen. So you shut yourself down until you get an answer, a definition, or escape rooms. Yes, thank you. The answers or definitions or possibilities. So you shut yourself down. So remove and release that. we have to know the answer as soon as this happens, that we can't just let it expand, allow our mind to, like our bodies, to feel it, to experience it. I must be on to something big because they're trying to choke me out here. Feel it, expand in it, and allow it to just be. Just allow yourself to be. And it's like, we don't need to know, because we don't need to know the answer, because there's so many versions of that answer. And it's like, there's so many. I take courses to expand my understanding of what I see and I feel and hear. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I've come to a place in my life that if I go into an area, I just trust it completely, because they've never sent me down the wrong path. The universe has never sent me, like, it's been interesting and sometimes a little painful, but they've never, it's never been like, not so much, I don't know how to explain it. I just trust it. Trust what I hear, feel, and see. And yes, I do see energies. Some are harsher energies than others, and some of them are different energies. But the light always shines. That's the best way I can explain it. But that's my version. Your version could be completely different. And so just remove and release that. We always feel like we have to know the answer, the exact moment that we expand, that we need to know that answer, that we can't just let it sit and see how it goes. And that it's like, some of us are really good at just sitting and allowing it to expand and to be beyond. And I receive answers to stuff all the time. I've witnessed stuff. But my limitation was, I wasn't going on YouTube and I wasn't going on Facebook and telling people, because, who am I, in a sense, to, which was also a limitation and kept me hidden, was, who am I to tell other people? Like, I'm just trying to give you a choice, an option, a different version for yourself. But it's still not my place to tell you what to do. And that's not why I'm telling this information. I'm just trying to get you to a place that you choose to accept yourself, or give you a choice. Sorry, I said it wrong. Give you a choice that you accept who you are. Because it's like, there's so much stuff that we don't talk about and we don't expand into, but there's nothing wrong with it. Are you harming anyone because you're happy and joyful? No, you're emanating more light for the world. And maybe that's the biggest lie of all, is that because we have limited ourselves and kept ourselves stuck and don't allow these versions of ourselves to all integrate and become one, and allow the light to shine throughout the world, that's what everything has been about, is not to allow the light to shine, allow our light to shine, allow our light to emanate to each other and create this huge chain of possibility, this huge chain of light to expand around the world. So remove and release all obstacles and all programming that overrides your common sense, your belief in yourself, and your trust in yourself. Yes. Because the version of this is my point of view, that money, like, a lot of people think money solves all the problems. Yes, it's wonderful, amazing to have it, and it allows you to do things. But I feel that knowledge is the key. Knowledge and acceptance of self is like a higher version. Because it, like, there was an example of, I'm taking a new modality, and so I won't be on for the next couple of Sundays. And there was someone I was thinking about, and I said to the universe, I'm not going to contact them. If I'm supposed to talk to them about what I'm doing, then you make them show up. You get them to show up, and I'll talk to them in a public forum, right? And so 2 days later, that person showed up, and it's like, so I'm manifesting. So why do I not do this for myself in different ways? But I have manifest. I've manifested in many ways. It's just sometimes we, because of like, there's a limiting, I have a limiting belief that, and I've been working on it. And it's like that some people look at things from a perspective of, I'm not a minimalizer. I have many objects of wonder. And my house is always a work in progress. I think I talked about this before. But it's like you go into some people's houses and it's like, I feel really uncomfortable. But that's their version of themselves. So it's a celebration of who they are. And it's like, so I still deal with some of that. And it's like, but that is just part of who I am. And in another version, it's like you have, this is the other version too. Like if a large group of people get together and like, I don't always feel comfortable too as well, except if it's like about spiritual self. Oh yeah, no problem. I'm there, but it's like, but this is choices that I have made and how I've decided. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with that, but I would like to expand myself into a different way. And it's like to witness the miracles that I have been seeing and experiencing and manifesting. And it's like, I've spent most of my life being, trying to figure that out, but it's like, I got it. Like that was so confirming. It's just, allowing other aspects of myself, because I'm always a work in progress. I'm a work in progress. So my house is a work in progress. And so remove and release that the miracles that you see that are right in front of you, you don't always see them because it's not what you're expecting. Yes. It's really feels a lot lighter. It's like, and you know how you're drawn to certain people and they come into your life and then maybe that what they were there for, that you complete, and then you move in different directions. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But maybe that's what you were meant to join together to do. And yeah. And it's like, so these people leave, but it's like, it's not because, it's just that maybe it was complete. And this is what human design talks about. And it's another one, like, people talk about it and stuff like that, but Alison May, man, she's got it down pat. I'm just telling you, it's just amazing. And it's like, she makes me understand it a lot easier. And so what happens with this is that it's just a cycle. Maybe that's all you were meant to be together for. So remove and release any hurt feelings, disappointment, or beliefs that it's sometimes we believe that if we have, there was an old version of myself that like when I was younger, I didn't really have a lot of friends because I tend to be alone because of the gifts that I have. And it's like, so, and you have people that talk about they've had this friend for 30 years and stuff like that. And it's like, that's wonderful and amazing. But if what you were meant to do with that person is completed and they move on and you've moved on, then there's nothing wrong with that. That just opens the door for someone else to come in that you may have a greater expansion and experience with, that is so in line with you and so part of you that it's like you're definitely sisters from another mother. But it's like it just, there's more in your human design that cling together, that, you know, what they do is an expansion of you. You expand them, they expand you in ways that you never thought possible. So it's like maybe the meeting that person and having them come into your life opened the door for you to meet someone else that had more, not so much more, but that hit different versions of your human design, that is what you needed all along, right? And it's like you learned your lesson, you did work you needed to do with that person, and you've moved on and someone else has come in. So all the places we stopped expanding that we believe that we should keep, like sometimes keep people that maybe they're done what they needed to do with us and we're done with what we needed to do with them. And but because we keep that cycle going, we can't expand and allow other people in. And sometimes there's just people you don't need to let go of. And in the, you know, if they bring out the brightest and the best parts of you, and it's, you know, that's the best possibility. And like I knew Lorianne, you know, briefly when she was here in Nova Scotia for a while, and we've sort of connected throughout time, but like we come back around again and reconnected today, and it's like, it's so awesome, thank you very much. And it's like, and it's, but it's like, it's to show you, like she was on a little bit of different path, she had different gifts and abilities than I did, and when I met her, that helped expand me in a different way. And it's like, thank you very much for that. And it's same with Rose, like, you know, and other people who will be listening to this later. I just like, it's like, it just creates a possibility of expanding and being in a different way. And so remove and release that we sometimes can be cautious in relationships because we don't want to offend or cause conflict. But sometimes by voicing what we have to say, it expands us and expands them and creates a different level of awareness between the two of you. So remove and release all the times that we have decided to stay silent, that have not been in our highest and best good, and that have also limited us. Because sometimes by speaking that version of yourself, it allows you to, by the response that comes from the other person or how they responded, allows you to expand into a different version of yourself. So remove and release that all. Yes. I was only going to be on here for 15 minutes. We're 48 minutes in. I'm really, it's like, oh my God. Okay. I guess they had a lot to say today. Yes. I think that's hilarious because it's like the nice weather's coming and it's like I was trying to cut the time down because of the, anyways, I hear them laughing at me. So let's just take a deep breath. It got a lot lighter though. The energy, like everything feels really good. And it's like, it's interesting because if you don't, like, people listen to this later on, which I'm very thankful and grateful for. But because I'm releasing it now, there's a version of it they're still receiving because they're connected in some way. And there's even people out there that I may never meet that is also receiving this. And it's like, it's always an expanding energetic awareness and existence that connects you to so many other people. And you could have cleared when you stand in your power and you speak your voice and you speak your truth, you could have cleared people from like anywheres that or beings from anywheres that maybe this was in them, but because you're releasing and letting go, it's oh, you're welcome. It creates a different energetic experience for them as well. So it's like you never think, and it's like, you never think that what you're doing is a limitation. Like, it affects so many people on so many levels. And the more you connect with them, with other people who are like-minded and stuff like that, it expands and goes beyond and lifts stuff out of people, from anywhere, from any existence, and creates a different energy of light that creates this lightness that allows us to keep moving forward. Yes, it's a rippling effect. Thank you. And so remove and release that. It's almost like a wall, a safety net, a veil, a shroud that tells us or makes us believe that we're only expanding ourselves. Yes. Because sometimes what happens is that it's like when you copy and paste healings that you do for yourself, you copy and paste them to all versions of, if you copy and paste it to all versions of yourselves, to your familiars and your friends and family, and it's like it releases everyone around you. And some people like to copy and paste it out to anyone on the earth, and I do anyone in the universe, anyone in existence on any level. Copy and paste it to them, whatever percentage they would like to receive, or whatever that is for them. And times a godzillion yes. And then the other aspect is you just allow it to expand. Just allow your energy to expand in a way. It's like copy. How about if we copy and paste everything we've done today? I'll just use it as an example. To all versions of ourselves, to all existence of ourselves, to anywhere that our energy is traceable, and to our versions, our dimensions, our gateways, cosmic, galactic, universe, quantum, and beyond what we know, and beyond any aspect of ourself that our energy signature has existed. Yes. Thank you. It is done, it's done, it's done, it's done. Because this is another aspect that I never thought of with human design, is that maybe it's a version of yourself that has that human design with that other person. And when that clears, then that is healed on all levels, and whatever agreement you made in that lifetime, it's cleared, and then you just things change and shift. It's just like, it's so fascinating that there's so many aspects to ourselves that we have to be aware of. And it's like as I'm sure that the people are on here that are listening, you work on yourself all the time. You clear stuff, you look at stuff from a different angle. And it's like, it's to become the best version of yourself. And it's called following your light, or, expanding your knowledge. And it's like, I'm thankful and grateful that we have this opportunity to do this, that we have this time and space to follow our light, to expand ourselves, to accept ourselves, right? Because what else are we, what other possibilities are for us to receive? Like, what else are we able to receive by expanding and accepting ourselves in all versions of ourselves? Some of you may carry 21 versions of yourself. Some of you may carry like 48 versions of yourselves. But it's like, or you just might carry one with you, or, the number is not as much significant as awareness to copy and expand, or copy and paste to that other version of yourself. the awareness that there's a possibility in the version. I think like I don't know if it's, I can't remember if it's Hindu or that, like they talk about the 48 versions of Tara, the goddess Tara. And it's like, so there's 48 versions. Like we've been told all along, but because of different cultures, that knowledge has been only limited to a certain culture. And if I picked the wrong culture, religion name, I apologize. But yeah, so it's 48 versions of her. And it's like, okay, so it's out there. It's been out there all along that there's different versions of ourselves. But we weren't taught that. We were taught a different aspect to keep, dimming our light, walking this path, walking this, existence in one way. Just be willing to be accept. There was something said on Facebook or Instagram or something like that, sometimes someone believes that public schools were just a way to force us to accept that we must work 9 to 5, that we must work a certain way in order to receive certain things. So it was like a programming, right? And I mean, it did teach you how to be accountable and give you a sense of urgency and a way to socialize with people. Sometimes it wasn't always the best, but it's like, that was a really cool version of that. Like I never thought of that in that way. But it's like, but with all our stuff, they so focus on in a lot of, this is just in an outline view, that they so focus on, like certain religions focus on, oh, you're bad if you do this. Like instead of lifting you up and giving you possibilities, they focus on other aspects, right? And it's like, I don't know if that's a control thing or not, but it's just really interesting that this person had that point of view. And that, I'm thankful I got to hear it, but it's like, wow, what an aspect to what an idea to think about and to expand out. So yes, so remove and release the levels of programming that we're not even aware of, that exist within us, that have dimmed our light, contracted us, and not allow us to connect and expand into who we really are. Because there's no limit. There's no limit. Yes. Okay, take another deep breath. It got caught. Just a second here. Thank you very much. Having a wonderful, amazing week. And enjoy the ride and enjoy being you. And having a wonderful, amazing experience of all the wonderful, amazing aspects of yourself. Thank you. And enjoy.